Ever felt stuck making a big decision, so stuck that you lose sleep over it? You're not alone. Every day we face about 35,000 decisions. Most are quick, but the hard ones, they haunt us. Now here's the twist. Philosophers figured out how to handle these thousands of years ago. These aren't vague quotes. They're practical tools used by some of the smartest minds in history. Right now, think of a decision you're struggling with. Just one. Keep it in mind as we go through this. The Stoics gave us a tool called the Dichotomy of Control, and it's deceptively simple. In any situation, there are things you can control and things you can't. Take a job interview. You can't control if they hire you, but you can control how you prepare, how you speak, and how you present yourself. The moment you separate what's in your hands from what isn't, things get lighter. Decisions stop feeling overwhelming and start feeling actionable. What if you had to make a decision without knowing who you'd be when it takes effect? That's the veil of ignorance, a thought experiment from philosopher John Rawls. It works like this. Imagine you don't know your gender, income, race, or status. Would your decision still feel fair if you ended up on the receiving end? Let's say you're creating a new policy at work. Would it still feel fair if you were the intern, the temp worker, or someone who just started yesterday? This mindset removes bias, and what felt complicated starts to feel clear. The trolley problem isn't about trains, it's about frameworks. It reveals how we think through hard choices without realizing it. When we're stuck, we're often switching between three ways of judging: consequences, rules, character. Consequentialism asks, what leads to the best outcome? Deontology asks, what rule must I follow no matter what? Virtue ethics asks, what kind of person would I be if I made this choice? Most of us bounce between these without knowing it. That's where the conflict comes from. Labeling the lens you're using doesn't just clarify the decision, it clarifies the discomfort. Some decisions aren't about being right or wrong. They're about what happens if you are. That's the core of Pascal's wager, a framework for choices under uncertainty. Ask yourself 4 things. What happens if I act and I'm right? What if I act and I'm wrong? What if I don't act and I'm right? And what if I don't act and I'm wrong? Now weigh the outcomes. Even if the odds are low, is the potential benefit worth the risk? Sometimes the decision isn't about certainty, it's about magnitude. When a decision involves other people, it's easy to misjudge what they really mean. That's where the principle of charity comes in. It's simple. Before you evaluate someone's opinion, try stating it in its strongest, most reasonable form. It's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. Because decisions made from assumptions lead to friction. But decisions made from clarity, they open up options you couldn't see before. What felt like a conflict often turns out to be a miscommunication. Here's a challenge. Think of a disagreement you've had recently. Can you restate their position so well that they'd say, "Yeah, that's what I meant"? Try it and share your version in the comments. Not every decision is about right versus wrong. Some are about how much is enough. Aristotle called it the golden mean, the middle ground between two extremes. That's where real virtue lives. Courage isn't reckless. It's not fear either. It's the midpoint between them. When you're stuck between two bad options, try asking, what's the excess? What's the deficiency? And what sits between them that still feels right? Take honesty. Too little and you're hiding the truth. Too much and you're blunt to the point of cruelty. Virtue often lies between extremes. Sometimes the hardest decisions aren't about right or wrong. They're about who you are. Existentialist thinkers like Sartre and de Beauvoir believe that the most meaningful choices are the ones that reflect your authentic self. When you're stuck, ask, which choice feels like me? Not who I'm supposed to be, but who I actually am. This isn't selfish, it's honest, because the only person who has to live with your decision is you. These 7 concepts won't make your decisions for you, but they'll help you see more clearly. And when you see clearly, the fear around choosing starts to fade. Next time you're stuck, pause. Ask yourself, which lens helps me move forward with less doubt and more direction? You're not the first person to face a hard decision, and you're not doing it alone. If this brought clarity to your thinking, Subscribe for more ways to see things differently.